Hi, I'm Chanel Shay Calvin and you are watching What's On. Now, our regular reviewer at Gaunty will be joining us today. Yes, he's back. But first, we're going to talk about Independent Book Week, which is part of the Books on My Bag campaign. It seeks to celebrate independent bookshops in the UK and Ireland. Now, tell us more is Scott Southey, Eileen Ward-Birch and John Heartless. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. So what is Independent Book Week and how long has it been running for?
It's been running for a few years now. It's run by a company, national company called the Booksellers Association and Books on My Bag. And it's just to bring awareness to all the small local independent bookshops that are out there.
So are you owner of one of these bookshops as well?
Yes, I am. I own Southcart Books in Walsall.
Oh, that's quite local then, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
So how long have you been running this for then?
We've only been open for just over a year now. And so far it's been really successful. It's been really good.
Oh, that's nice. So are you all authors as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself then and what sort of books you obviously specialise in.
Not books as such. I've had a few articles printed in newspapers and I write poetry, short stories. I do have a book of poetry out. But generally I do all sorts of things, you know. I go along to different events and read, and we do open mics, and my husband and I do a little comedy double act that I write a different one every month. So by the time we've done it once in the month, we go around the different open mics and then it's time to start again in the circuit sort of thing.
So you're actually going to be appearing at the event as well?
Yes, I'm reading on Saturday, yes.
How does it sort of work then? So can people sort of come and talk to you as well and obviously purchase your book as well?
Well, they can come and talk. Whether I'll have many books left to purchase, I don't know, because I'm near the end of one print run and contemplating the next. So I want to see what the take-up is going to be before I order.
Yeah. So what about yourself, Scott? What sort of books do you specialise in? Is it sort of quite broad?
We did start off quite broad to just figure out what the market was going to be. And we found out that we're becoming quite niche now. We're very big in sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and we do sell comics and graphic novels as well.
Oh, so sort of like something for everyone then, I
yeah,
guess,
something for everybody, yeah.
What about yourself, John?
Well, I'm mostly writing the steampunk genre, if you're familiar with that, which is an alternative version of the 19th century. I've been going for several years, but for some reason it's my pen name Arabella Wyatt which has been the most successful. So when I've been doing readings at Scott's Place and people are coming to hear Arabella Wyatt, they do have a bit of a shock when they see me sitting there with the mutton chops, but they soon get over that.
So do you think like sort of events and festivals like this sort of help people to pick up a book and sort of read it as well?
Oh, definitely, yes, because if they can interact with the authors actually there and get the book signed and talk to them, then it does raise the interest.
And we were talking about this earlier, actually. You've got sort of a theme going on this year, which is #GiveABook.
That's right.
And what is that about and how does that sort of work?
Well, what we're doing, the theme every year, this year it is Give a Book. So what we are doing is all next week, from the 20th to the 27th, we're having a free book section where we'll be giving away free books. We've said, come in, pick a book, read it, and pass it on to your friends.
That is quite nice. It's quite a selfless thing to do. Obviously, if you find a good read or find something you find interesting, I guess you can sort of pass it on, and vice versa as well, I guess.
Yeah, we thought it's a good idea because it's Father's Day as well on Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe children can't afford an extra present for their dad, so everybody come and get a free book for him.
That is a really nice idea. How did it go? Because you was in part of it last year as well.
Yeah.
How did that sort of go?
Last year's.
Yeah.
Like I say, we'd only just been open last year, so it gave us an opportunity to have our first book reading event, where we had some authors in. So it kind of got us on the map. We got in the newspaper, so it set us off on a good footing.
Because obviously I've been doing some research on how the event works, and there's quite a few different book shops are actually part of this, or like all over the country and obviously Ireland as well. Am I right in saying that you're the only one that's actually based in the Black Country?
Participating, yes.
That in itself's got to be an amazing achievement as well, personally.
Yes, I think the nearest other ones are in places like Coventry, Leicester, I think there's one in Telford. So they're pretty much rural shops, whereas we're pretty much the only urban shop.
That is amazing. I think that is really cool. So do you think people are probably moving more towards, I don't know, cinemas and movies? Are less people picking up a book, do you think?
Well, I think people are still reading, though. Of course, a lot of them are going on to Kindle nowadays, the electronic version.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, you can't get a straight answer out of anyone as to which one's still doing is the most popular, either the Kindle or the traditional print, with each side claiming that they're the best. But certainly when we see lots of people come into the bookshop, especially for the horror reading that we did a while ago and the steampunk readings, I think print's holding its own. So we're looking at the long-term trends, but no idea where they're going.
Oh, okay. So going back to the give a book sort of theme, I'm going to ask you, Eileen, have you got a book of your own that you've read and that you would like to pass it on to anyone else?
Oh,
It's a bit of a
there are
tough question,
so
isn't
many,
it?
aren't there? I love older books. You know, I'm a big fan of Conan Doyle. And, oh, and Jerome K. Jerome, of course, the Warsaw author.
Local
His
authorities,
Three Men in a
goods.
Boat has to be read by everybody, I think. You know, the film was the old film. It hasn't been filmed for many a year, but the film was good. But there's nothing like the pictures in a book, is there?
No, that is true. And I guess with books you can sort of just lose yourself in it and you can create the characters and you can
Yes.
visualise what you want to picture. I
Yes.
think it's nice.
You know, it is so. It's nothing like the pictures in your head, is
No,
there?
it isn't. What about yourself? What sort of book would you sort of pass on then if you did a give a book?
Oh, well, pretty much recently I've just been reading a lot of vintage sci-fi, and at the moment I'm reading the works of Edgar Rice Burroughs, of course more famous for the Jungle Book, but also for the John Carter books, and so I would give away one of my John Carter books, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
It'd be very difficult for me to give away a book. I'm too attached
Do
to
you keep
them.
them all?
Exactly. But I could possibly give away Jane Eyre, because I think that's overrated.
Oh.
But if I'm going to give away one that I like, then Pride and Prejudice. Jane Austen cannot go wrong with that one.
So going, obviously that's a film as well. Do you think reading a book and then watching a film, do you think that's quite bad, or does it sort of put people off, do you think? Or is it...
I would hope that it does bring people to the book if they see the film and they enjoy it. I'd imagine the sales probably went up at Pride and Prejudice for that very famous BBC TV series.
Yeah,
How
that's
long ago was
true.
that now? Gosh, it was back in the 90s, was it? That's showing our age. And of course, a very famous scene of Mr. Darcy dumping into the pond and coming up all wet and dripping.
Yeah, that's
So I'm sure that probably helped boost the sales a lot.
Yeah, it probably did.
So really, I think you've just got to look at that. Is it influencing people to go to the original book? And if it is, that's a good thing.
I think it does. TV shows do help us with book sales.
Yeah.
Recently, we've been doing very well on the sales of Poldark, and also of the Mr. Norrell and Jonathan Strange. You know, so when TV shows and films come out that are based on a book, there is an impact on book sales.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually very true, because obviously I've read some books and then gone and watched them in like the cinema per se. Like sometimes it blurs the vision that I've had in my head of what the character actually looks like. But I guess if I've seen it the other way around, it would sort of persuade me to go and pick up a book and see how it all
It's
works.
better the other way around.
Yeah, how do you actually go about writing a book then? Do you sort of have your ideas first and you think, you know what, this is what's in my head, I'm going to put it down to paper, or do you just sort of just scribble away and see what happens?
I think Jonathan's the real author for books. I'm more short stories and poetry.
So how do you go about writing your book then?
Well, I need an idea that excites me. It's got to be good enough to actually do the beginning, middle and end. I've done several books where I just gave up because the idea wasn't good enough to
Yeah.
keep going. But once you get a good idea, then practically the whole thing just writes itself. All I know is where the book starts, where it ends. Apart from that, I'm making it up as I go along.
That's really exciting, because at least you give yourself that space to just sort of
Exactly.
fill in all the gaps, I guess.
You can go anywhere you want to that way,
Yeah,
as long as you know where
it's
you're
true.
heading for. That's the main thing.
Do people ever approach you and say, I want a book like based on these sort of themes, or do you just sort of do it
I have
yourself?
occasionally had people say, oh, could you write such and such a thing? And again, if I can get the idea and if I like it, then I will. But the last request was for steampunk fairies, and I haven't got a clue what to do with that.
Steampunk
Yeah,
fairies.
exactly, yes. So that would be a fusion of steampunk and, you know, little fairies with the wings, the fae, that sort of fairy. And I wouldn't have a clue where to start with it, unfortunately.
So good luck with that one then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try, but I'm not promising anything.
Oh,
So, yeah, but the ideas can come from anywhere, really. The last book I was working on, it was inspired by the Bentley Boys. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I haven't
They're,
personally, no, but obviously if I pick up the book I can
Not many
find out
people
more.
have, unfortunately. They were very famous racing drivers back in the 1920s, back when racing was a completely different beast to what it is now. And I got the idea what would happen if a young lady turned up wanting to race, which would have been very well, upsetting for everyone at the time because of the social order. And when you get an idea like that, you can go off in any direction and explore it in the way that you want to.
Oh, that's really nice. So just quickly before we go, just a quick roundup of what people can expect to see at the event and what they can look forward to?
It's just a fun event. We hold these once or twice a month. And they're very popular. It's a good chance for the public to mingle with authors and ask them questions. And also you can come in and pick up a free book on the day, or even all next week when they're all free. So come along, have some fun.
I'm sure we will. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And after the break, going to be here with a roundup of this month's mobile scene. I'll see you soon. Welcome back. Now, before I welcome Gaunty, I'll hand you over to Lee, James and Anne-Marie for the roundup of this week's happenings.
Thanks, Chanel. How tickled I am to be able to announce that finally Ken Dodd will be appearing on Saturday night at Dudley Town Hall. The original show had to be rescheduled due to ceiling repairs, so let's hope they did a good job as he's bound to take the roof off. I went in there to see him a few years ago and he was brilliant. Just remember, you're there for the duration, all right? St Matthew's in Walsall will be holding a community day on Saturday between 11 AM and 3:30. They'll be having music and entertainment, craft stalls, workshops and children's activities. Oh, and Big Centre TV will be there as well, so do come and say hello. And if you're going to the Boldmere Festival, we'll also be there as well. Now, for all the pagans who can't get to Stonehenge, there's a summer solstice event happening this weekend. It'll start with a magical midnight bike ride at Sheldon Country Park on Saturday, and then finish with a midnight badminton session at Nechel's Wellbeing Centre on Sunday. Other highlights will include an energising dawn chorus and bat walk at 3:30 in the morning through leafy Cannon Hill Park. And if you fancy it, there's peaceful sunrise Tai Chi at 4:30 AM on the Lickey Hills. Here in the Goldmine Centre on Walsall on Tuesday the 23rd, the Zeppelin Express are being filmed live for Big Centre TV. Reputed to be the closest thing to the original, it promises to be a real treat for all you Zepp heads. And the great thing is that it's free to get in. Doors are open at 6 o'clock and the band are on stage at 7. Tickets are available through Eventbrite and just do a search for Zeppelin Express. And finally, congratulations to one of our locals who was recognised in the recent honours list. No, not Lenny Henry, but Lynn Boleyn, who was awarded an MBE for services to the community of Wallheath. And you can see the pair of them on the right of the screen when they were ordinary commoners in 2013. So there you go. Whatever you do, have a good time, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Lee. Well, the Aegon Classic is well and truly underway and play will continue up until this Sunday, with tickets being available for under 16s at £5 and up. And you adults can get tickets for £15 and up.
The Birmingham Bears take on Yorkshire at Edgbaston in a thriller on Sunday, with the first ball being scheduled for 2:30 in the afternoon. The Bears have made an electric start to their T20 campaign and will be further looking to establish themselves within the top four.
On Monday, the Wolverhampton Speedway Riders take on Lakeside in the Elite League. Wolves are pushing for a top 4 place in the Elite League and could really use your support in Lakeside. Tapes go up at 7:30 and it's a beautiful part of the world, so go along if you can.
Finally, on Wednesday we have more Speedway, but this time it's a big local derby between the Birmingham Brummies and the Cradley Heathens. The Brummies and the Heathens are not only friendly rivals, but are both vying for top spot in the National League, so it is perfectly set up to be a corker. Both teams ride at Perry Bar and tapes will go up at around 7:30 again. Back to you, Chanel.
Well, thank you so much for joining me again, Gaunty.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
So last time, obviously, you was on. Obviously, it was the Legends of Reggae Festival.
It was nice to see you there.
It was nice to be there.
Looking very elegant.
Well, what can I say?
You looked like a queen amongst your peers, you did.
And I have to take my hat off to you and say you did very well.
A lot of hard work, and I want to say it was nice to actually meet the competition winner.
Yes.
For the What's On competition winner,
Jacqueline
Finch.
Finch, not Fish.
Finch, yeah. And she was so happy for winning a ticket, and she had a great night. We took pictures, but she has the pictures.
Oh, does she?
So, Jacqueline, if you're listening, could you send those pictures in so we can get them on the Big Centre TV, WhatsApp, Facebook, even Twitter? Anyway.
Yes, I think it was really nice. Obviously, she got to go there and she got to enjoy the artists and the events, which is amazing.
But, you know, that's out the way now. We have a lot more things coming up now in the future. And last week, we actually had the great Fela Kuti's son, Sean Kuti. That was the father of Afrobeat. And he brought a 12-piece band of live African music to the drum. You've never seen anything like it.
Oh, but that was buzzing.
It was a spectacular.
Oh, God.
Did you get the invite?
didn't. I missed
Dear
out on that
me,
one.
forgot to post it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we need to look at, but I mean, that's just one of the things that's happening. And we have a great festival, which I'm going to talk to you about in about 30 seconds. But this weekend, Saturday night, live at the Drum, we have Shazia Mirza. And she's a world famous international female comedian. You know, she's a Muslim, but she is a very satirical in the delivery. She takes the Michael out of most things that are happening in life, and she puts that on stage. So that's happening this weekend.
Is it
Pop
difficult
down.
for, like, female comedians?
Female comedians, I think it's a man's world, but they're becoming a force to reckon with now. I think they're stepping out of the men's shadow in comedy. So we're looking at putting on a more female comedic showcase in the future. And quickly, I must talk about July the 19th. Put that date in your diary, July the 19th, because that's the Simmer Down Festival in Handsworth Park, where we have live on stage. Wait for it.
Drum roll.
A showcase, a free festival, Maxi Priest and his full band. There you go.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I nearly fainted there myself. Maxi Priest and his full band performing live to anybody that gets to the park that day.
Did you say?
It's a free festival. We have Rod Taylor, we have Earl 16, we have various other local artists as well supporting it. It's a great family day out, and it's one of Britain's biggest free international festivals now, and that's Simmer Down, July the 19th, Handsworth Park.
Check you out.
Oh, it doesn't stop there. I could reel a list of things, but let's focus in on that. I'd like to invite Big Centre TV down in its entirety to have a look at the festival, be part of it, get yourself some footage and meet the acts. Would you like to do that?
I want to do that.
You want to do that?
This is why we have you on the show.
That's
this,
why.
This is what happens.
Let me just jump back and kiss myself. I've done that now. Let's get back to the show. So look, it's what's happening. It's when it's happening. It's what needs to be happening. There are other dates happening around. We have My Father and Superheroes. Now, this is a play we're putting on for young children to have a look at, absent fathers. Now it's delivered in a theatrical performance. That's happening also next week. We also have Young, Gifted and Black, a young group of black artists doing a showcase in the Digbeth area. I don't want to mention the name because, it's a plug. I'm not going to say Custard Factory or anything like that, but that's happening down there. Name drop. But this, to be fair, I could actually reel off 1,000 things, but I know we actually probably be pressed for time. But if you join me next week on What's On, we'll go into more details about it. Just give my, CC here a call, and she'll drag me back in and we can go into more detail. But look out for, what I will be giving out is a free pass backstage to see Maxi Priest live at the Simmer Down Festival. And that will happen right here on What's On.
How do you do it? It's like, how much actually goes into inviting all these big names to come right here in the Midlands?
Like I said before, I had a mullet, I had hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's gone now. It's a lot of hard work, but I mean, as long as you guys here give me the opportunity to come and share the joy and let you know exactly what is happening, I will always come back.
No.
What have you got planned for the weekend?
What have I got? Oh, I'm actually at a festival.
What festival's that?
It's a Boldmere Jazz Festival.
I didn't get an invite.
You didn't get invited to that one?
No.
It's free as well, so we can still...
Oh, it's free. I get the
Stop
free
putting me on the
invites.
spot.
I don't get the ticket paying invites, it's free. And also, fast forward, because happening in October is the Black International Film Festival.
Oh, the
and,
Amazing.
and the Music Video Screen Awards is happening as well.
I've been there.
And I think, it's another one where you can put your finery down and come down to that as well. We have a lot of events happening right here across West Midlands. Tune into What's On next week Friday and catch my girl CC without me, and we'll see where we can take it from there.
I love how you just keep trying to
I've got to. Why not? I can do it. It's live television, isn't it?
It is.
It's not a tape. It's real. Look, the cushion's moving. It's real television. This is what it's all about.
So going back
Sorry.
to the event that's happening in the park, obviously good weather, that would be hot.
We've ordered it. We've ordered the good weather.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, the technical side of it, because it involves road closures, licensing, police records, risk assessments, and so forth like that. So we get in excess of like 15 to 20,000 people standing in the park in sunlight, enjoying music, a few beers, as you do, essential. The things that's needed most. But the great thing is about it, it's free. And I think music needs to be shared to everybody from all walks of life and age groups. And if we can give a free festival to the West Midlands, and we're talking the West Midlands, we're talking from Staffordshire down to Rugbyshire. Is there a place called Rugbyshire? I just made that one up.
There is now anyway.
But there is anyway. Yeah, and get down there. 19th of July, Simmer Down Festival, Handsworth Park. Maxi Priest
You
live.
don't do things by halves, do you?
No, going all the
You
way.
do
Listen,
something.
listen.
Just
If you're
do
going to
it.
skateboard, put all the wheels on it, mate.
And local artists as well, did you
We got
mention?
local artists. To be fair, that lineup is still being confirmed. But if I could get back right here on What's On, right here on Big Centre TV, I can tell you in depth. In fact, tell you what I'll do. I'll bring one of them in for you.
No.
I'll bring him right here.
No.
I'll get them right here on the set here. You can have a chin wag, have a talk, and I'll even get Maxi Priest possibly to do a piece to camera for you.
There we go. I think that's the best place to end it. So
That's
Maxi
it.
Priest is coming in here. Well, not in here, to do a piece to camera.
I'll get you to go. No, you film it on site.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
It's been an eventful interview as per usual.
Yeah.
Now to play us out, here's Zeppelin Express. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon.